Hey crafty people! Welcome back to my channel, and in case you're new here, I'm Sarah, also known as Craft Nerd because I'm a nerd who loves to craft. I do paper crafting, card making, junk journaling, and mixed media art. Let's get crafting! Okay, I got a bunch of stuff out on my desk, and what I want to do is, I was inspired by a video by luiseHeinzl, and I'll leave a link to her down below, where she altered some of her digitals, which is this set, and it's the Halloween in August set she did. I'll leave a link for that down below as well. And she went very mixed media in her alterations, but I tend to forget to print my digitals out on photo paper. I do hammer mill color copy paper for my digitals, and when I print digitals, and those are not water safe. Like if I get my digitals wet, the inks are gonna run, it's gonna make a mess. So we're gonna not go mixed media with like inks and stuff to alter them, but I do wanna kind of tweak them, elevate them, enhance them. So I've got 3 of the people printed out again, and we're gonna do some tweaking to each of them. And so since he's on the top, let's start with him. And what I want to do for this gentleman, let's move this guy out of the way as well, is I want to add to him. So I want to add some fibers to create a actual textury beard for him. I want to add, as you can see, I've got some die cut flowers. And these flowers are, I think all of these are by Spellbinders, and they're old flower dies, and they're probably Gerber Daisy, and I don't know, Rose Camilla or Peony. Like these were dies for creating dimensional flowers, like 3D flowers. So yeah, I die cut a bunch of those out, and I don't remember, like there's no marking on the back or anything, so I have no idea which flower they're from. And then the stems are by Aall Create. So I want to stick the stems in his hands. So I'm trying to decide here what 3D elements we're gonna do, and like we're gonna add him on top, but we're gonna cut away the beard, that's for sure. But I want to bulk this up a little since I'm going to put the beard underneath this piece. So I think what we're going to do is, I've got a piece of cardstock. I'm trying to decide if I just want to glue the whole thing down. Let's just glue. All right, we're going to do a little bit of editing here, since I just really want the hand reinforced. So we're gonna glue the hand and the head. So we're gonna glue the hand and the head on, and I think I'm gonna get rid of that. And we're gonna glue this down, and then we're gonna cut it out because this will add a little bit more sturdiness to it. Since I wanna stick stuff behind, I'm thinking it'd be better to have it on some cardstock. And I'm gonna cut this out again real quick, and anywhere that needs additional gluing, I will do that. And actually, let's pull over what we're gonna use for his hair and start there. I picked up some gray creepy cloth from the Dollar Tree. That's what I want to use to put some texture on his face. So let's cut off a section of that. That's gonna kind of, let's double layer that, I think. Go, and he does have some coming down as like hair from his head. I thought I was gonna like this, but I'm not liking the color. I think I'm gonna grab some of my gray dyed cheesecloth and use that instead. I think I might like that better. I was thinking I'd like that because it's kind of stringy, but I think we're gonna go, let's try this. Let's cut a piece of this off and just tatter it a fair bit, like pull it apart essentially. Yeah, I think I like this better. All right, so we're just gonna pull apart our cheesecloth, place it down, and then we're gonna glue, and then we're gonna glue his head on top of it to cover the top, if that makes any sense. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put glue all along, like here, where I know I can put the image to cover up where we've glued. Now let's cut him out. Oh yeah, that looks so cool. But I want to do a few more things to his head and hat before we attach it down. I want to add some brads for his eyes. So let's poke a hole in the center of his eye. And then over here, we've just got 2 copper brads that will go in for eyes to give a little bit more dimension there. I also want to ink my edges just so that if there's anywhere where we've got white showing that we don't want white showing, it's not going to be a problem. I want to use Vintage Photo. That is so cool. I do also want to add, I think, some of this burlap ribbon to his hat, but I also want to keep the idea of a buckle, and I was debating whether I want to use like a section of this, but it needs the middle bit to be a buckle, and I'm just trying to think if there's any way. Let's first cut that out and see how we like it. And this was just some inked paper, and it's the Arteza it comes in a pad where you can rip out the pages, and so I got the edge bit inky. I'm trying to think what need something. Maybe just a piece of, maybe that's the answer. We just glue a piece behind to create the buckle mechanism. And now I'm kind of wondering if I need to go with something a little thinner, and I actually have something that probably will work better. All right, let's add glue to add the centerpiece for our buckle. Let that dry. I'm gonna go grab the other ribbon. We can use that, although that's a little blendy. I've got orange. I think I like the orange better, and it'll fit through our buckle better. All right, let's trim off the excess, ink around the edges. And thread carefully through our buckle. Open it up so it fills the buckle. And then it can go around. All right, let's shift our buckle a little further so I don't waste a whole bunch of ribbon I don't need to waste. So that will go on there like that. All right, let's put a little glue to glue down the edge of our ribbon. And I think we are ready to glue his head back on. Okay, I'm not loving the green as much for some reason now. I think I'm gonna just add more vintage photo to it. Actually, let's slip a piece of paper in, and I think that works for me a bit better. I don't know, it was just contrasting a little too much for my taste. All right, next we're gonna do flowers for his hands, or his hand. And I'm gonna start by cutting out his hand piece. And again, ink edges. So that'll go here. And we need to add the flowers. And what I want to do is shape them to give them a little more dimension. So I've got my little shaping pad. I've got the flowers I want to use. I'm going to put them down upside down. Take a ball tool, go like that, just to give the petals some shape. Flip them over and go like that. This one I feel like the edges need to be inked. And then we've got a bunch of stems, which didn't quite pop out all the way. And I just used, these were inky papers from, I don't know, possibly a video I did, possibly cleanup papers. I feel like I did the green on video, but I don't remember which one. All right, so we've got all of our stems and all of our flowers. Actually, this guy, I think I'm gonna do a little bit more shaping at the end of the petals to get them cupping a little bit more. Because what I want is more bend on the edges of the flower. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to decide our flower placement. Let's move the hand out of the way. This green stem is the shortest, so it's going to have to go here. Let's move the hair out of the way, because what I'm leaning towards is not gluing the flowers like fully down. You know, I want them to have some dimension, and then his hair can either go behind or in front, depending. All right, so this guy's gonna go there with this flower. Next longest stem is this one, and I think we're gonna do that flower. And we just need to make sure our stems stay underneath his hand. And then our last stem think the problem is they're all curving kind of the wrong way. I should have been paying better attention to the way that they curved. Give me a sec. I'm going to go see if I've got better stems because I need them to curve this way. All right, so I wasn't finding anything I liked. So what I've pretty much done is just kind of force them to curve the way I want them to curve. And I think what I may do is just glue this down in a couple spots so that it will retain the curve I want it to. There, there, and there. And we're going to put that there and curve it that way. I think that flower is going to go right there. So just leave that sit for a sec. And for this one, I just kind of like curved this and then twisted that leaf so it would go that way. And that one will go right about there. And the same with this guy. I just kind of basically bent him to my will. Then we can go ahead and put the hand on, like so. Now let's take our flowers. All right, so I'm just gonna glue like right there on the flower. And once it dries completely, we can do a little zhuzhing to the leaves on the, or the petals on the flower to perk them back up. So we push them down, and then his hair can go every which way, and that piece came off. Let's just put a dot of glue. It should dry clear. We should be all right. We just kind of tuck that back in. Okay, I'm just gonna say I absolutely love the hair. Like, it's my favorite so far on this piece. We can tuck it behind our flowers and around them. Like so. Okay, yeah. Now I'm gonna do centers for the flowers, but I'm gonna use some liquid pearls. Actually, you know what? I might as well grab those and then we can set this aside and let those dry while we work on the other pages. I just gotta figure out is one of the other ones in here or not. Yes, we're gonna do this guy. So I'm gonna grab the liquid pearls, and I've got dark chocolate, and it kind of mimics the look of a flat back pearl. And it's kind of like Nouveau drops, and there's a whole bunch out there on the market of similar items, but I'm just gonna squeeze a healthy amount in the center of this guy. And the tip is squeeze what you want out, stop squeezing, circle around, and lift up, and you won't have like the Hershey Kiss like point happening. So squeeze, stop squeezing, circle around and pull up. I'm gonna go set this aside somewhere where I can't get my fingers in it so it can dry. I'm gonna clean off that nozzle and we can work on this guy. Okay, so here's this guy. I'm thinking I want to add hair again. Probably going to use the same cheesecloth since I liked it so much the last time. So we're going to need his head. And then I want to stick a flower in his hand. So we're going to need his hand and his head. And I don't think we're going to need the rest of him. So let's go ahead and chop those pieces off, glue them to some cardstock to just give them some more oomph, as we did with the last one, and get moving. All right, let's do our hair again. All right, now for this guy, I want to add some of this around his hat. I think I'll fold it over. Let's first, yeah, okay, that's how much we want. But I don't want it as wide. So we'll do that. And just to help that out, I'm going to add some glue. Thinking I should have left more of the black on when I cut it out, but it's too late now. Oh, I did not ink the edges on this. Let's do that. Before we glue him down, I want to tweak his eyes as well. So these are from a Rubbernecker stamps die set, and it's Mixable Flower Stacks, I think. S107D. I bought them quite a while ago, so I don't know if they're still available. So these are like the centers, like it does starburst and then a center. So I have two of the centers cut out, and I'm going to glue those down. And I'm going to put brads in. Again, punch holes in the center. Uh-oh. That did not work very well. Okay, for this one, we're gonna just grab a pokey tool and poke a hole through, since that did not work very well with the hole punch. They are definitely a little bit on the cockeyed, but I'm okay with that. Let's glue this down now. And what I think I need is a little bit more hair over there to cover up the fact that I didn't cut out all of that black, if that makes any sense. So let's put a little bit over here and glue a little bit more hair. Trying to get it so that it's like right there. That's where I want it. Okay, I'm gonna do something because this is kind of bugging me now. And so what I'm gonna do real quick is grab my scissors, cut. Let's see, can we pull it up? We can. Yeah, okay. So what I'm gonna do is ink that edge and add some hair. We're gonna give him bangs. It basically is what we're gonna do. We're gonna give him bangs, and I'm gonna glue the face on, add some bangs, and then glue the hat back on. So this has ended up going a bit sillier looking than I had originally planned, but I'm okay with that. That actually works so much better for me. All right, let's just make sure all the hair is pointing downward. And let's put our hat back on. I also think I am going to add a bow. Here, yeah, let's do, hopefully that's enough. And what I'm gonna do is tie a knot. Make a bow. Should have cut this longer. Let's see. I'm going to add some glue right there. Okay, now for the flower, I die cut out. It's Tim Holtz Wildflower stems. I forget which number. Let's poke the rest of that out. There we go. And I'm gonna cut the flower off. Because I want the stem to be green. And I'm gonna cut the green flower off. Ink over here so the white doesn't show so much. And then let's see. All right, let's trim off that bit there, glue this down, and then get our flower placed. And let's cut out his hand and put that over top. I'm going to cut a little bit more off over here just because we're getting close to the fold. All right, so that will go there. So let's ink our edges and glue that on. And I think I want to use this up here, but I think I want to trim it like so that it sits kind of under the band a little bit. And you know what, let's trim a little bit more off. So we'll do that and put it on like so. And I'm just trying to decide, do I want to have, let's see, do we want an orange leaf sticking out behind? I think we do. Let's go ahead and glue these on. And for this one, I'm going to use the dark chocolate liquid pearls again. You know what? Let's do it up here too. I'm just doing little dots instead of a big blob. All right, we're going to set him aside and pull out the last one. Okay, so I had a bit of a filming mishap in that I thought I had turned on the camera to film, and when I went to turn it off, realized I didn't film any of working on this page. Very bummed, but I'm just going to show you what I ended up doing. I decided I wasn't originally going to do hair, but I really like how the hair came out on the other ones, so I used some eyelash trim to create fuzzy hair for him. I wrapped some ribbon for my stash around his hat to give it some more interest. For his eyes, I used 2 different sizes of the flower dies and brads, and then I added a flower to his hat, mostly because the way I cut it out, there was a weird gap showing, so the flower kind of hides that. So I layered the flower, a circular centerpiece for the flower. I put the liquid pearls on, another flower center, and then a dot of liquid pearls on top. And then did a flower on his lapel with some liquid pearls in the center of that. So that's that guy. And then here's what the other ones look like all dry. So we did the little liquid pearls on the flower and the flower on the hat. And then finally this guy with the liquid pearls in the center of the flowers. Here's a close-up look of all the details on the pieces. So there are all of our altered digital pages. If you enjoyed this video, please do all the things that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below. Thanks for joining me, and happy crafting.